best luck I had was you, and I know.
It's down to the no. Fire being held here. That's him being traded out. Now it's a 1v1 situation. It's all on Punk. If he loses this, it is now another tied game. Or it's the one.
Oh my God!
They're allowing Monster to free fire and take him out. That's the Monster.
Unfreaking believable. Top of his head. You didn't see it, but he gets the kill! Pick it up in the first time. The shot is there though. It's a massive quad, and Snowy will somehow place the shotgun. Goes in this onto another 3v2 stunner. Continues to shut it down, and it's all over. Mr. Pang finish the game, and there it is.
Everything is twofold. What's joy is pain on the other hand. And what happens when the one that you love is the main cause of your suffering? I need you like I need air to breathe. I need you to save me from me. I'm caught in your wave. I'm drifting away. I need you to save me. Please don't let me drown. 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 Whoa. Give me all of your lies, 'cause you're my demon in disguise. I learned to love the cage you keep me in, but the walls keep closing in, and I don't wanna die, but your poison feels so right. Why do I want you when you're bad for me? My perfect storm, my beautiful catastrophe. My perfect storm, my beautiful catastrophe. I'm drowning with all of this darkness surrounding. You need me like you need.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Xenon Gaming Series. My name is Slayzilla. I'm joined with the lovely Krysis, and we've got a couple of great games for you tonight. Krysis, how you doing, man? We've got Zelos taking on Team Valence for our first matchup, and obviously both of these teams in the same division, but they're pretty close to each other as well. There's a good chance that we could see a jump up in the leaderboard from one of these teams.
Pretty close to each other indeed. Valence is number 1 seed in their division, but Zelos is in 4th seed. So, but the thing is that they're so very close. We're talking minimal rounds in between both of these teams, and as you all know, only the top 4 make it the playoffs, and 3 out of the 4 teams that are going to be playing tonight are actually in that top 4 spot already. But tonight we have Zelos, the 4 seed, versus Valence, the number 1 seed. This could be a huge upset if Zelos can take this one.
Oh, absolutely. They are right now 2-1 so far in this league. They won once and then once more in overtime. But with Valence, they've been on an undefeated streak. They have just gone up and taken all the points. In fact, if you're looking at this Alpha division, there's a lot of teams who have really racked up those points early on. We'll see the St. Louis Leviathans a little bit later tonight. They're up to 3-0 as well. So a pretty stacked division. So Zelos winning here would be absolutely phenomenal for them. But, well, they got to go up against the number 1 ranked team to do so. And that can be difficult, especially in the best of 1 format.
Yeah, a best of 1, there's a lot of controversy around best of 1s. There always has been, and there probably always will be, because it doesn't necessarily tell who the best team is. It's just who's the best team today, right? Maybe somebody had an off day, maybe somebody had to work late, maybe they're a little bit tired or whatever. But those are what we like to call excuses, Slay. And because we get to sit back and just be casters, we can make those kind of statements. But yes, you're talking a team in Valence who's undefeated so far this season. And we are going to be going into the map bans right now and see what map we're going to be playing on here. It's going to be Cafe.
Ooh,
As
very
you can
nice.
see behind me.
That was a good guess, right? Some good intel
Yeah.
there. So I did make a little bit of a mistake. The Leviathans have played 4 games, so they've won 3 and they've lost once, and that was to Valence. So still with 9 points up there, still doing good, but obviously this is Valence's turn to really jump up and cement their lead on that leaderboard. Again, though, going into Cafe, it's a map that used to be seen all the time, has fallen off a little bit. It's still there. I wouldn't say it's quite in those big 3 maps that we always see anymore. It's kind of reserved for Clubhouse, Oregon, and Villa is usually what I'd expect to see. But Cafe is certainly a good option to go to. Some people can feel like it's a little bit more attacker sided now, especially with the repick. But we'll see how it goes. What are your thoughts on Cafe?
I agree with you. I think Cafe is a map that a lot of teams have kind of worked out of the rotation, especially when we've seen the resurgence of the map Chalet. You know, you and I have talked before how much Chalet has improved since the rework came out, and Cafe did also improve during its original rework, but it's been in the pool for a while and hasn't really seen a lot of tweaks. Everybody kind of knows the top floor, the bottom floor are kind of like the main 2 sites, and then the middle floor is usually going to be your tertiary, to where it's like, oh, okay, we just have to go somewhere else now. So, but I am excited to see Cafe back in the rotation. No Borrigan on this one, and I think both teams are going to be ready to be hopping in here in just a few seconds. We'll be getting the action underway.
I cannot wait. This is a huge moment for both teams. For Zelos, absolutely not a game that they want to lose, but it's going to be a difficult one to win. Again, as you mentioned earlier, the top 4 in each division will be going to the playoffs. Zelos just right there on that cusp with 5 points, wants to pick up as many as they possibly can right here. We'll check out the bans first for those operators, as we'll see the Thatcher being banned out. No big surprise there.
No, Thatcher is an operator that really doesn't exist anywhere outside of the Shadow Realm at this point. You know, he just wants to, how do you do, fellow operators, and they do not allow him to do so. Now, absolutely no surprise there. I wouldn't be surprised if we also see maybe a Flores ban here, as he has become quite popular to pick lots of drone holes, but instead we're going to see an Osa ban. A great ban, because there are a ton of windows, especially on that 2nd floor and the 3rd floor, so no real surprise that Osa is going to be banned out on this map.
No, very, very good. Osa getting off the board. That does leave Flores up. As you mentioned, he's a powerful operator. It'll be Kaid being just banned out, which is a little bit more interesting for this map in particular. I usually tend to see the Kaid banned out on maps like Clubhouse or Oregon, where there's a really hefty amount of hatches that you're going to look for the defense on. Valkyrie's going to be banned out too, so those are our operators that won't be playing, and now we'll be able to finally head into round number 1. Zelos starts on that defense, and they'll try to do as best they can to hold off the unrelenting force that Team Valence has proved to be in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, and just a quick point on the Kayed ban. I think you're forgetting the basement defense, right? There's so many places where you can hide those claws. I mean, the one in Freezer, you can get the hatch and both walls by itself. So this Kayed claws, without a Thatcher, he's just kind of a pain in everybody's side. Those claws really sink into you. So I'm not really as surprised to see that ban. And of course, with Bandit now being able to do his multiple batteries on a single wall, it makes more sense to maybe
Defenders,
bring him
protect your
instead
bombs
anyway,
from
but
being
it
defused by
doesn't matter
attackers.
if this guy's not getting to play. However, we are going to see a zombie being brought in here. Of course, no more operator quarantine competitive, which sends
Bomb located by attackers.
Should the attackers choose to bring them, but nothing. However, we will see Unstoppable on the Unstoppable force of Finka.
Definitely the Finka, the LMG meta is still very much a prevalent thing in Rainbow Six Siege, but Finka brings forward just an LMG have to revive down teammates, boost up their health permanently as well as those and Go 6. I mean, just a package deal there with the Finka, so no big surprise there. And with Zombie coming out, I feel like the Zombie has made a really good entrance into the comp scene since it brings out a little bit ago. Sens hasn't been the same. Every now and again we'll see them come through, but just not to the same caliber that this Zombie can make difference-wise. Let's check out the attack though. Team Valence moving in. We do see a couple of those LMGs. We've got the flank watch with that Nomad, and of course a little bit of hard breaching with the Hibana Smasher to try to get some different control here. As you mentioned, there's a lot of windows and you have to be very careful about defenders potentially looking through those windows.
Yeah, Nomad is a fantastic pick here. I mean, like you said, there's going to be many runouts, especially on the second floor. We saw the Claymores actually being placed by Zofia there to kind of help take care of that, mitigate it a little bit, although I do love sending defense off of that AC unit roof, but no air jam there. Here opened up the window, LMG in hand, but look at this nasty angle from Wilson. Alongside the wall, but we are seeing those zombie walls we talked about. Smasher going to be taking a lot of damage. And that zombie wall is gone. Psychic's able to take it out with that lifeline launcher.
Smasher on so little HP, but good job from the Sophia clearing out a little bit of that utility. The drone is going to give up the information and the location of that zombie who's trying to wiggle away in the safety. The LMG fires non-stop, but it's actually Defrex finding the kill, taking down Spoo. There's Wilson getting the refrag. That is going to be the Zofia dead, so unfortunately won't be seeing any more. Bronze makes a move with the M590. That's Lemon finished off as well. The shotguns are going crazy, and another might be happening here. Unstoppable, thinking about swinging it. That 90 is so terrifying. The shotgun power of the innate tossed out, just trying to give themselves some breath. Smasher evens it to a 3v3, and we're starting to get the action as we've only got a minute left in this round.
Yeah, down to the final minute here, and you're going to see those Finka boosts come out and start to lift everybody back up health-wise, as Smasher and Unstoppable both below half health. So health definitely in the favor of the defenders, as they also have Thunderbird, the newest healer to join Rainbow Six on the defensive side. So we'll see how well those Kona stations come into play. We're going to see Defrex here get that drone started, and that's probably going to end up spawning the Thunderbird if it goes through the drone hole. She's laying down there near the pillar area. Probably trying to go for a C4 if someone drops the hatch. We are going to see a drop, though. It's Unstoppable. Going to be moving in through the side of the yellow ping coming out. That's going to be Wilson the Azami. Already one kill to his name. He's going to try to take out the powerhouse that is the Finka. Case is going to get dropped, though, and Defrex is just in the middle of sight. Looking for a kill here on Cocktail, but Mark is going to be able to get one on Unstoppable. It's Finka gone. Smasher taking a lot of damage as well. One bullet. Well, there it was, the one bullet, but Defrex able to get one onto Mark. So it's a 1v2, 1v1. Got Spadiga here, going to be able to finish off the Nomad, but Frex has the case in hand, and he will be getting that plant down as time is running out.
Oh, well, Spid's gonna find him before the plant is even fully laid down. Really good round, though. Bounce back and forth. It's gonna be that defense finding the round win, though. So Zelos starting off looking very strong, exactly the way they wanted to come out here. They'll head now downstairs to that first floor, down to kitchen, and we'll see what they can do here. Obviously, kitchen is a site that can be held very, very well by defenses. You have to be aware of the potential verticality that can be played from both sides, though. C4s can be tossed up, and of course, that sledge right there can absolutely destroy the floorboards right above your head, making it difficult for a defense to feel all too comfortable. Team Valence would love to do that. We saw it come down to that 1v1. Defrex and Smasher doing a good job just opening up and getting those kills, but well played, amazing job coming out from that player, from that lone Thunderbird getting it done.
Yeah, and like you said, this site is very hard to kind of anchor on, right? Normally you'll have maybe one or two people playing in the actual site, but for the most part, you're going to see operators kind of flush out. As you can see, the Alibi moving here through bar, going up gold stairs, or brown stairs, depending on what your call out is, but you're going to see this vertical play really utilized. Look at all that soft floor that you can just get so many very sneaky angles. I'm sure we've all been killed by the prone operator upstairs there in the train room, just looking through that one floorboard that had been busted open. So yes, a very, very hard site to lock down, especially when Lemon is bringing the fuse. We are sticking to this LMG meta, as we're also going to see Gridlock coming out for the first time here. A great anti-flank operator. Those track stingers, man, they sting like a box jellyfish, as she has been known to say. So we'll be able to see if I can stop any of these flanks coming up here.
Absolutely phenomenal. Look at this. We're just getting some drones in, getting a little bit of information. Quite a few rumors about Bronze playing on that Alibi. A very powerful operator when used correctly. That MX4 Storm can just go crazy. ACS-12, an option as well, but unfortunately we don't usually see that semi-auto shotgun. It's going to be a top floor down take right now. Psychics moving as that Jackal player, just making sure there are no hidden surprises from above that'll make their lives all too difficult. Looking at this defensive lineup, it's fairly similar to what we saw on round number 1. We're gonna see the opening kill though happen right there as Psychics takes down Bronze. That's the alibi out of here, and well, the roam clear certainly looking good. Unstoppable prepares a nade. Spid might need to be careful. It'll be a trade out. Finds the head, but gets naded for it. 3v4.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what was happening there with Bronze. I mean, he was being jackal tracked and kind of just walked right past him upstairs. To see if anything was going on. He knew this sprint was being tracked. But yeah, like you said, a great nade, by the way, coming out from Unstoppable. We saw those yellow pings and good shot by Slayzilla, but now we're gonna hear the explosive come raining down from above. As Fuse is gonna be launching those hockey pucks, oh death, anywhere and everywhere onto those sites, trying to take out any kind of extra utility that might be there. Mark's gonna be taking a little bit of damage, probably from one of those pucks as well. We are gonna have to see though what happens as the frags starting to do a little bit of soft destruction. You mentioned it earlier, as well as the side shotgun of the Jackal. So no block. But you get kind of poor man's buck here, and oh, you just can't see the feed. Psychic's going for another one, not able to get it done. Well, there he goes. Now he gets it done. That's going to be Jaeger off the board, and very, very tough situation here for Zelos.
This verticality has been used just to a T right now by Valence. They have got so much control, it's hard to feel safe as that defense, and Lemon makes it even harder. Smasher will finish off the round just like that. The angle's held. I don't think anyone even had to step foot on that bottom floor. They just said, hey, we'll get on these floorboards and absolutely rail you from above. That's what happened, and now Valence finds themselves with a round win of their own. That's really nice. Getting that even scoreline. Again, before we jumped into this map, we were talking how it could be a little bit more of an even 3-3 kind of scoreline. We'll see if that'll continue to play out, but Zelos decides to say, hey, let's try it again. Back to kitchen. What do they have to do to not let that happen? They really need to have a little bit of a better roam there. They gave up so much control early on, and it just made them pay for it.
Well, there's a very famous video, it's free real estate, you know, and that's exactly what it was. There was no top third floor presence. We saw the alibi fall off very, very early. It was Bronze. He got his feet tracked, and then the Jackal was just able to kind of walk to white stairs and hold the angle, heard the alibi as she went sprinting across, and was just not able to get anything done. And then, of course, the rest of the operators for the defense just kind of started falling like flies. That vertical play, as you mentioned, was just absolutely deadly, and I have a feeling we're going to see a lot more of it here. Lemon, though, actually going to be swapping off of the Habana, going to a Thermite. We've seen a potential freezer push here this time around, as they're probably going to be expecting much more of a roamer presence upstairs to kind of stop that push that happened in the last round.
Not a bad plan here. We'll see what they can do. Now, the round has begun, so the operators are going to be locked in. We don't see that fuse coming out. In fact, we have the sledge again, but a couple of different operators here. The Thermite as well as the Maverick going to be the hard breachers. Nomad's back on duty, and that Finka is just ready to go. This time it might be a little bit more of that frontal assault they're planning right into Bakery, and it could work out. We'll see just how well the defense is going to stave this move off, as it can be so difficult to just get into that Bakery position, especially if someone like Mark is going to be a menace, but instead it goes the other way. Psychics is just too good. It's an immediate 5v4, and the control has been given up of Bakery.
Yeah, people need not forget Valence is the #1 team in this division for a reason, and they are going to make their Jaeger pay. Mark, though, not as important to keep him alive long, much like the Wolmai, but here we go. This is that angle I was talking about earlier. Smasher. He's going to take a little bit of damage as Bronze is using this angle to perfection. It's going to stop anyone from moving into that prep area. He sees the feet of the Frex. He's not able to get the kill, though. MX4 Storm, it is a great gun, but you're shooting through a couple of wood there. Penetration damage is a very small caliber, so not able to do a ton of damage. Spadiga, though, he's going to have a little bit of trouble as his outside wall is being contested. Here come the yellow pings. Are we going to see another grenade? Going to take him off. It will do a little bit of damage, but not finish him off. He's able to tuck in here behind the wheel and stay safe for another few seconds.
Defense needs to find a refrac, and it'll be Unstoppable being killed off by Bronze. Excellent. Wilson follows up with another, and Spoo just jumps up too. That's going to be a 4v2 down to the 4v1 as Padiga does not give up yet. Smasher going to look into coat check, find the kill onto Wilson, and try to continue downwards, but it'll be the other Operator there with that MP5K finding the kill. Excellent job. Very well done as Zelos are able to take another round win. Really good moves after losing a couple of those one of those players early on. They stuck it to the offense and now they're up 2-1.
Yeah, a good back and forth. They definitely corrected what they did wrong in the last time they were on this site. And again, you kind of saw it. You saw the Maverick, you saw the Thermite. There was no fuse. There really was no real intention of going to that top floor from the attacking side of Valence. And when you don't have to worry about that, it makes it a little bit easier to hold those angles. Like I said, that angle being held by Bronze, that's the one that we've all been killed at. And it is annoying to deal with. It managed to take out the Finka, which is a huge kill, especially when you're trying to deal with late pushes. That LMG is not something you're going to want to have to deal with, as well as all the health boosts, the grenades, and the Gon 6. And I think it'd be a quicker list, Slay, if I just told you what Finka didn't bring to the party.
No, such a power operator, no doubt about that. And for Team Valence, they'll be looking that power as much as they can. On to round number 4, so we've only got 3 rounds before the sides are going to switch. Zelos could do a little bit more. Trying to get 12 rounds, that would be great for them, but again, nobody's going to be all too surprised if we see the 3-3 at the end of this split. But back upstairs to Bar Cocktail. Said this is where they're starting. They're going to try to get that repeat. See if they can find it happening right now. Valence brings in, I think, same list that we saw from round number 1. So they are prepared. They know what they want to do, and they're going to try to get that execute happening. Of course, dropping onto red stairs, an incredibly common push, attacking into this site. You have to be worried, though. We saw the shotgun come out huge, and Bronze is already waiting just by that cigar shop. Could get a little bit nervous if he goes unchecked.
Yeah, Bronze was able to do some massive damage with that shotgun sitting there kind of in between the cigar area and also the new bound area. So he's hoping to relive his glory days from round number 1. We're also seeing the Castle come out here for the defense. It's the first time we're seeing Castle played, but I do believe, like you said, this is the exact same attacker lineup. And oh, we're going to see Smasher take a lot of damage to go down as Mark, the Jaeger here, living up to Jaeger's of and getting a little bit of a spawn peak going on there. Bronze, I've taken a ton of damage myself, just under half health, and the Frex will down, though, as Spook able to get one. Psychics, though, going to be taking out Bronze and put things a little bit back into the favor of the attackers, but 3v4, well, as soon as I say that, Unstoppable comes swinging in with an LMG and takes out the Castle of Spoo. So we're here just under a minute and a half left.
Incredibly close round so far. We've seen the attackers move in. They've got a little bit of that control. Mark is still waiting with that 416, a very good defender weapon. Let's see if they can find any of these angles. As the defense starts to get pressured in here, we might be able to see the attack take advantage of that, really crush what kind of real estate they have left. A couple of explosives will be tossed back and forth. A minute is left. Spadiga still downstairs, and this was pretty much the same position we saw that Thunderbird play on round number 1 that was able to give Zelos the round win after coming up, getting and just kind of cleaning up the final remnants of Team Valence. With 45 seconds, we're starting to get down to that. A C4 takes down Sidekicks. Now Valence has really got to get the move on.
Yeah, Unstoppable down to just about a bullet of health here. A lot of these defender weapons will be able to take him out in one shot. That 416 you mentioned earlier, as well as a Spear 308. Lemon, though, going to be coming in. Attackers on site, but Unstoppable will go down to Mark, and Wilson will finish off Lemon. So yeah, the Nitro we actually got to see be useful this time from underneath. One thing that the Thunderbird was not able to do previous round, and I think that was just because they had to rotate back to site so quickly. It was a little bit of an unfortunate situation as Spadiga had to come back up in gunfight. Didn't get a chance to use that Nitro, but used it beautifully there, putting Zelos at least 3-3 split here. But like you said, they want that 4.
Well, they're looking good to go out and get it as well. That was a phenomenally held defense, but we're going to a site that we haven't seen yet. We're heading down to that second floor, and a lot of times you'll see this reading and feeding site, this reading and dining site set up similarly as you would if you were defending upstairs. Cocktail, you'll have the defenders hold up and then rotate down as the pressure comes through. Can waste a lot of time and do a couple of kills, but we'll see if that is going to be the strategy they go ahead and employ. Team Valence, they've had moments of greatness. We've seen shots come out. We've seen a lot of players kind of step up. Psychics and Smasher doing work, but they just haven't had that same success that Zelos has seen. And this is going to be a huge round for them to not only deny Zelos a 4-1 split, but also try to get that momentum going before the end of the half.
Yeah, and it looks like we do have some shields on the board here, at least one for bronze, but it's not going to be put in the pixel area. Instead, it will be placed elsewhere on the site. So nobody can see right there in that 90 hallway. Thank you, Observer, for catching that. But yeah, so no shield to hold pixel. We did see some ADSs and a couple mute jammers be put right there outside of the bathroom. So that's probably where the top four defenders are going to be held, or holding, excuse me. And like you said, this is going to be played very similar, actually, to how the top floor is held because, well, again, the verticality, we keep talking about it, and people are going to be sick of hearing us talk about it, but it is very, very important, especially on a map like this. Interesting to see if they can hold down this middle floor. Again, most teams tertiary site. You're not seeing most teams choose it unless they have to, but Zelos deciding to go here early.
This is going to be what we're looking for here. Right now, the top floor is being taken over. Unstoppable. What a shot onto Mark. Just denies his control. Spadiga is going to look for a little bit of something. Shots onto Unstoppable, but doesn't get the final bullet in. A little bit of a boost up, and now position given away as to where that Azami is hiding out at. Swings onto balcony, doesn't quite find it yet. It's a very long gun fight. Neither sides winning yet, and Spadiga continues to waste this time here, being a menace. They need to find a way to deal with that Azami if they want to move through and get onto the actual floor they need to be on. But again, taking control here and denying it just the same is going to be so important. Zelos finding a refrag could set themselves up beautifully for the final minute and 15 seconds of this round.
Yeah, after losing the Jaeger so early, well, Unstoppable is going to be taking out Wilson as well. It's going to mute off the board. But yeah, Spadiga just trying to waste as much time as humanly possible. Team and Bronze, nice angle out here, but unfortunately Smasher, that 417 in hand that's going to be sent for the first time, doing a ton of damage, but Spadiga will get Lemon back. Psychics is also down, so a 3v2 until, there we go, Psychics picked back up by the Finka boost. That's one of the things that makes her so strong. Casey is down on the floor though, a grenade going to be coming out into the pillar area. Will it get the kill on Spadiga? No! Going to go right past and not end up landing anything. Spadiga, though, going to get a kill of his own onto Psychics, and that will be the Zofia off the board. I see some Cadellas coming down as the Frax. Going to be trying to dig out this player here in Laundry as they're just kind of throwing all of them at once. Case is going down to Smasher. It's going to be getting that taken care of. The Frax, though, killed down. It's all going to come down to Spadiga on the Azami, but it doesn't matter. Smasher there once again. Going to have gun in hand and doing what needs done, as we're going to see. Oh, it wasn't the 417, excuse me. That is the new PD-06 assault rifle on Sens there. So misspoke. It looked like the 417 in the kill feed, but either way, Valence able to pull one back and get a much needed second round win.
Exactly what they wanted to do. As you mentioned, that was Zelos' tertiary bomb site. They had one on Kitchen, they had one on Bar. So now they get to go back to Kitchen. And it's been a 50-50 so far. They were able to win the second time they went here. And that was pretty much really well held by them. We saw that on round number 2 when we initially went to Kitchen. Valence took a very verticality heavy move, and that really just pressured Zelos out. But when the cards were flipped, when it was Zelos taking that advantage and holding those angles, a completely different story came through. So we'll see what the defense decides to do, as this will be the final time Zelos will be able to hold this site until he gets potentially overtime. It'll be Valence's opportunity to defend for a while. So this is their great chance to push it to a 4-2. Valence just the same way. Getting that 3-3 split is going to be huge. Looking at the operator, the light up, what they're bringing. Again, Bronze playing out of that alibi. You have the Azami coming back, the mute. Now a little bit of the wall there. Try to slow down the droning. Or am I going to do a lot of work alongside that Jaeger and just denying all the throwables? Because as you can see, there's a lot of utility that's going to be chucked in by Team Valence.
How much utility do you want to bring into this round, Valence? Yes, I believe is the answer that we're looking for here. Yeah, I mean, you gotta figure all the throwables just in secondary gadgets alone, plus on top of that gridlock, having her 4 track stingers that she can throw out. Those do count as projectiles. They can be captured, at least by the Wamai discs. Quite sure if Jaeger stops them anymore. There's been some tweaks to Jaeger's gadget in the past, so kind of changes what he can and cannot get. Uh-oh. Spadiga hiding here behind Pillar, and we're going to see Unstoppable. He's going to be looking for another opening frag on this Finka. Will the Azami peek out here? Just looks to be content to just kind of hold on behind Pillar, and definitely don't think they want to be... Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, unable to land the shot. Finally, Unstoppable gets the kill. But, man, almost a whiffed opportunity there for Valence.
Whiff or not, that was an excellent job in giving out the information and then pressuring Spadiga out of their spot. We've seen that Azami player just go down and hold out on those pillars almost every single round. So great job, some heads-up gameplay from Valence as they'll take the man advantage and keep moving. Deprex did take a little bit of damage there, around half HP now, so he's got to be careful. But again, Valence just striking first and making it feel difficult. He's able to take control early on into this round. We see that verticality, that control coming out once again. The sledge is just destroying these floorboards, and now a nade prepared to drop onto Wilson's head. It'll be the shot instead. The gun takes down Wilson, and now Valence are very much in control as we head into the final 60 seconds of this round. Braun's not in a good position either. It's just so uncomfortable being in sight at this point.
Yeah, and speaking of uncomfortable, Psychics is going to be like, you know what? You don't got to worry about it for the rest of the round, as he's going to take the head right off of the Alibi. And yeah, like you said, this site just so hard to lock down. Mark still sitting out here in Hickory, and I'm not sure why. The push doesn't really seem to be coming from this area. He's going to want to have to fall back here. Spoonman will be getting Unstoppable. That's going to be Finka off the board. Big pick, and now we're going to see the Jackal Track coming up. Oh, Mark! Okay, I stand corrected. You stay there and you take heads off all day long. There's going to be some flashbangs coming into the freezer area, as well as some smokes. Now we're going to have to try to see a retake come out. Spoonman, he's going to be able to take out one. That's Smasher on the ground. That's going to be Gridlock gone. We're going to come down to Lemon and Psychics versus Mark and Spoo. Health on the side of the attackers here. Lemon, case in hand. Psychics, he's going to be able to get one onto Spoo. He doesn't know Mark is right there as well. Mark, all he has to do is swing the double door, but what was that? Mark able to get the kill. Lemon able to finish it off, though, and tie things up 3-3 here. The woman was too stunned to speak. I thought for sure Jackal had that kill there. But a fantastic push, though, for Mark to be able to take things back to a 1v1. But 3-3 now, as Valence is going to take their final attacking round here on Cafe.
Great job from Valence to do that. That not only evens the scoreline to 3-3, but as I mentioned before, that can really flip the momentum into Valence's favor, and they can make a little bit of a run for it here onto their defensive half. Zelos needs to do everything they can to slow this down and try to get that back in their favor. In a best of one, talk about it so much, you have to be so crisp. Everything has got to be going to plan, and as soon as you lose that momentum and you start to slip with the mentals, everything can fall apart. At this point, both sides at 3-3, we're still in a very close game. We haven't seen really either side slip up too much, so this is going to be huge. Zelos onto that attack. Can they do what they need to? Winning this round right here, put them right back into the mix and slow down Valence a little bit, but we've really been seeing those operators, those teammates from Valence heating up. They're feeling the game, and that can be a dangerous position for Zelos to have to fight into.
Yeah, and I think both teams are going to be happy with the first split here, right? I mean, obviously, yes, we said either one of these teams would have loved to have gone 4-2, but I think you can come away from a 3-3 pretty happy, because what it means for Zelos here going on to their attack is, hey, Valence just got 3 on attack. That means we can do the exact same thing. So I'm sure they're not too worried. We are going to see Sledge here trying to take out this castle barricade. There will be a Rooney gate on there. No Rooney brought out for Zelos the entire time. Defensive half. So a little bit of a interesting thing as she has kind of worked herself heavily into the meta, at least on the defender side, but only being shown for the first time here is Mark. Oh, just waiting for the run out that we all know all too well in this game.
Oh, well, they're ready for it and they're prepared. Not going to be caught with their pants down in this situation. Similar to what we saw, we have a couple of these hatches being contested. Valence did a great job at holding those off, but they didn't do that great of a job of finishing the round on the attack on this side. So Zelos going to be fighting into one of the more favorable defender sites here. That's why it's the primary site. So this is going to be an absolute great round for them to make that statement. Valence, they've been doing a great job of just letting that time spill down. Spoonman now takes quite a bit of damage. They're going to start clearing out one of those Runegates and nade. Tossed in, there's a player just there in the cigar shop waiting and ready. Right now, Zelos seems very hesitant to move in there. Smasher with that EBR is just praying for somebody to drop in. The shots are there and ready, but no one has even dropped into that hatch yet. We're still having a very slow attack when it comes down to things. 1 minute and 15 left.
Yeah, not just that. Look at the bottom of this wall here on the red drop. Oh no, the ADS didn't get cleared, but look at this wall on the bottom. We've got people playing underneath. It's going to be Psychics, but also the bottom of that wall is opened up. So if you drop down, the player playing in piano will have an opportunity to kind of shoot you go through, and there it is. That's the Frex. He's going to take out Spoon. That's exactly what I was talking about. He will get traded out by Wilson. Smasher, though, is going to take out the Yana hologram. Bronze, however, says, I have a lot more bullets than you, and I want to say hi, but Smasher doesn't care. He has the shield to protect and an EBR in hand, and he's just going to do a ton of damage. Now taking out Mark, the Nomad, so it's Slayzilla going to be trying to get some damage done here as well. Going to be able to contest a little bit, but that shield is just being an absolute pest.
Oh, there's Unstoppable finding one. It'll be Smasher going down to the Spidiga. So with under 20 seconds to go, we're finally starting to see these players progress outside of that stairwell. It's Bronze and Spidiga all left alone. Excellent headshot on, but now going to be all on Bronze. No more chance to get these people back up. It's a 1v1. Seconds to go. The push is cut down by the SMG-11. A great round win. I mean, they held that offense pretty much to the red stair drop that entire round. That was phenomenal.
Yeah, and it's a little bit concerning as well because we saw no real rotation, no attempt to kind of go anywhere else. Not that there's a lot of places you really can go, but you know, nobody tried to move through white stairs. Nobody tried to hang on the window and dig anybody out from the pixel window outside a bathroom. It was just kind of like, okay, the hatch is open, let's drop it, I guess. And it obviously didn't work out for them again. Defrex was able to shoot the footballs and unable to clear the shield as well. That Smasher was sitting behind. A fantastic defense by the Aruni, just absolutely shutting down that push coming through. I mean, Defrex was able to fall off. It was all came down to the Aruni just holding on there with a semi-automatic gun, Slay, versus an LMG, grenades, Gone 6, and a Nomad. I mean, I don't think Smasher can be underappreciated enough in that round.
Absolutely held it off. I mean, by the time they actually made it through, what, 20 seconds left? But looking at this
Wasn't a lot of time.
There wasn't a lot of time at all. We're actually seeing the Echo being brought out by Smasher and Psychics onto that Goyo, so should be interesting. No smoke to be seen. Instead, that denial will come from those Vulcan canisters, hoping to burn people alive and make sure that they can't freely progress in. I like the Echo, of course. There's been that change made where his yokai drones are now very, very visible, much easier to spot and take out. IQ no longer a big necessity. Still maybe a little bit of a help, but we hardly ever see her. Some drone information giving the location of Wilson away upstairs near piano. As always, these teams doing drone in. That's great to see. They want to get that information, make sure they're making educated choices as Bronze is going to look to clear out, but Psychics has already rotated down the white stairs.
Yeah, Psychics could feel the pressure and needed to get out of there, and that's exactly what happened. Is Wilson and Bronze were on a spree to get them. You also see Spoonman just a little bit late getting that white window. Would have been able to catch on the rotate, but fortunately just a little bit late. So we keep operators are being brought up for the first time. Buck, who you would think we'd be seeing a lot more on this map, is only making the first appearance, and we're in the 8th round.
Buck is a really powerful operator when it comes to that, again, verticality that we're talking about. That skeleton key absolutely shreds all sorts of soft destruction. Unfortunately, after they took away his nades a long time ago, he kind of fell into, well, a little bit out of favor. Used to see the guy all the time, but what we see is Unstoppable taking the Buck down. Hardly even gets to move on in. Bronze will try to go avenge the teammate, but Unstoppable is just eating up left, right, and center. Wilson may be the next to fall here, as the Jaeger certainly feels Unstoppable. The Frex takes the kill instead, and all of a sudden it's a 5v2. Spadiga and Mark are in such a difficult position. Defrex is ready to get aggro with that MP5K. This does not feel very good for these two attackers.
Well, as soon as you say that, though, Spadiga is going to open up and get a kill on the Psychic, so that's going to be your Goyo no longer on the board. Unstoppable, though, going to be coming this VIP section, shield in hand. You can see the Wamai disc there as well to offer a little bit of protection, but also the Wamai himself, and that's going to be Defrex taking out Spadiga, and it's all going to come down to the lone hard breacher. Position will be given away to Defrex, and he will be coming through, but Unstoppable is there to clean things up. Another just clean round coming out from Valence there, and we're going to see a pause come out now from Zelos, but yeah, Valence proving to everyone why they are the #1 seed in this league.
Look at those kills as well. The split between both sides, not too bad, right? Nobody's really fallen off too far, but especially on that Valence side, I mean, 9-7-7-7. Lemon a little bit slower, but hasn't died all that much either. I mean, we're talking about a squad where it doesn't matter who you take down. You're not going to be able to kill all the star gunners for this team. They've looked so good. So Zelos, they've really got to get something figured out. At this point, they've lost 4 rounds in a row. They need to be able to stop the bleeding. We're very close to seeing a match point being in Team Valence's favor. If that happens, Zelos needs to force 3 rounds in a row. Better get started on that now. Don't let that situation happen. We'll see if this timeout will really help them.
Yeah, you don't want to get put into a situation where you have to play perfect siege, right? As we call it, like you said. If Valence is able to take this next round here, Zealous is going to have to rip off 3 in a row, which can be done. It has been done in the past, so don't think that it can't be done. But your margin for error, Slay, gets slimmer and slimmer and slimmer every time you lose an operator, every time they open a wall or a hatch or anything like that. You have to be absolutely perfect in your next 3 rounds if Valence is able to take this one. We are going to be going to Reading Fireplace, though, so this is going to be an opportunity for Zelos to come back, right? This is the middle 4. This is the tertiary site. If Zelos is going to win a round, it needs to be this one, and this is probably their best chance of doing so. However, again, nothing can be too out of the ordinary here, except for the Clash. The Clash is pretty out of the ordinary.
Clash is a little bit of a bully operator here. When used correctly, can just shut down so many attacks. I mean, it's difficult to use it correctly at times, especially against a real coordinated team, comp team like Zelos. But if you can play around her, it's great. The big drawback is it can be hard without having another real nice gun on the board. If you start to see that Clash be unsupported, gets singled out, taken down, then what much does she do? So we'll see how Valence employs this Clash. It'll be interesting to see that, because as you mentioned, not an operator that we get to play with all too much inside of comp, but here comes the attack. Zelos, they know the stakes of this. As you mentioned, they don't want to play that perfect siege. They want to give themselves the best opportunity and the best chances they can. Again, they're going up against the #1 rated team in their division. This is going to be a difficult battle, so we'll see if they can get it done here. As you mentioned, the tertiary site, this is a great time to do so.
Yeah, this is going to be their best chance to get a site here, and it looks like Clash is actually going to be operating as the shield for Pixel. If our observer can kind of get down and get to that there, it looks like that is where the Clash is playing, over by Pixel with an actual gun in the bathroom. So a very interesting setup here coming out. Valence, you'll see that come through, though, into the bathroom area, and we'll get marked off. Speaking of Mark, though, if I would want to get over as quickly as possible to help my team, and Slayzilla going to be able to take out Unstoppable. So a nice pick there. That will be the Wamai off the board. So no more magnets that you have to worry about. He will only get the ones that have currently been placed. Sophia can get over, maybe a concussion grenade or two to help dig his Clash out of here, and Zelos even further ahead.
Great opening kill. Unstoppable has been just so difficult to deal with. It's going to be Defrex now swinging out, trying to find Slayzilla. So we'll be able to just get out in time. Zombie is in a bit of a difficult position. It'll actually be Slayzilla finished off, though, by Defrex, as they say, how much of a difficult position am I in? Wilson is now down, finished off. It's a double kill coming through. Smasher and Cyclops follow up. Now we are in some troubling times here for Zelos, getting bullied by that little Clash. It's so hard to deal with, and Smasher cleans it up with that spear. Now Bronze left alone, looking through Skylight and surveying a dismal sight indeed. This is going to be a miracle to take down 4 operators, one of them being such an annoying shield up. Oh, Bronze, I do not envy your position.
Yeah, Bronze is in between a rock and a hard place for sure. Smasher going to be shooting some of those spear through 8 rounds, but he's also going to be taking constant damage, and there it is, Lemon sitting there with a shotgun as well. And as you said, the Clash is an operator that can be very easy to deal with if you're not playing with a coordinated team. However, Valence is also a very coordinated team, and they played that very well. It's unfortunate, because again, that was probably Zelos' best chance of pulling a round back here, as we're now going to go back up to Cocktail and know that Valence was able to win it on their very first round here. They had that interesting setup in the piano room where the red wall was kind of opened up, as well as some holes for vertical play underneath. It was Psychics on the Alibi. He's playing the Alibi again. So yeah, we'll have to see what can happen here. Of course, again, anything can happen. Nothing is out of the ordinary in Siege. People have strung together multiple... I mean, Valence has strung together 5, so Zelos could get 3, right? So it is possible.
Oh, absolutely. Now, Zelos, I mean, they showed us just what they can do back on that defense, but the big thing is we haven't seen them win one of these attacking rounds, so it's going to be difficult, because they've really got to come out here and just get Valence off balance somehow. Smasher now into double digits, and you've got Unstoppable, Defrex, as well as Psychics not too far behind. Lemon finished off the round with that M590. I mean, this is a team that is really going off and just firing on all cylinders. So Zelos, they're not out of it yet. They can win this. They can get a couple rounds strung together, force OT, but it's a difficult ask and a difficult task. We'll see if they can get that started. Again, Bar Cocktail as well. So far undefeated with this from the defense on both sides. And well, you can see who's back with the shield inside a cigar. That's going to be Smasher, hoping for a repeat of what happened on round 7.
Yeah, and during the prep phase, we saw Smasher reinforce the hatch as well. So going to try to avoid any attempt for maybe a grenade from underneath. Obviously, there are a ton of them in play, 6 in fact. But we do see a little bit of a change here with Flores being brought. So maybe use one of those Roteros to take care of. Did I just see a grenade used to burn in a rooming gate? Guys, what? You got so many flashbangs. This is what's been hurting Zelos. They just, I believe it's been a misuse of utility, a misuse of just potential, really, is wasting one of the most valuable things in Siege, a frag grenade, to take care of in a rooming gate.
Looks like the Rotero drone won't be able to make it either. Had the plan in mind to just get in there and take down that horrible shield, and they're still trying to take their way through. It's actually Bronze finding the kill. Cyclix gets that refrag right back on, but they lose the lovely Finka, who with Slayzilla has been so powerful, but Wilson is not quite done yet. The double kill comes through from the sledge. Now Control starting to be given up a little bit more. Zelos finding their sea legs here at last, and Lemon is going to be pressured playing around that stacks. He's going to rotate in, rotate through, see what they can do in the 2v4. It's not going to be an easy situation to work their way out of. Cyclix doesn't find the headshot onto Wilson, and now with all this map control, we're going to start to see Zelos look to get that box down, look to just take out the final couple of operators, but Lemon might be able to get a swing on. No, shut down by Bronze. It's a 4v1.
Yeah, it's all going to come down to Psychics, and unfortunately not going to be able to get it done. But very fortunate, though, if you're a Zealous fan. You know, again, we talked about it. It is possible to string together 3. Maybe they've shifted momentum in their favor now. It is very, very possible. A fantastic performance, though, coming up from Wilson on that round. After losing the Finka, just kind of swung in and took the heads off of 2 operators for Valence, and was able to really help kind of secure that piano room, which was so hard for them to get, but they were able to take out Smasher. What they weren't able to do the first time they tried to attack this site, and quite frankly, that was really the biggest thorn in their side. You know, was the fact that Smasher was just able to sit inside of that little closet there. They were able to take him out early, and that kind of secured the red drop. The castle had been killed. They were able to move through a very surgical push there coming out from Zelos, and it's exactly what they needed, as we're now going to go downstairs for round 11 to the kitchen, choosing to not go back upstairs. They're like, hey, we have our site rotation. We're gonna go back to kitchen. We won it last time. Let's win it again and get out of here. Is what they're thinking anyway.
That is gonna be the big thought process for Valence. And again, it's I think the same loadout that we saw from when they defended on kitchen. It's gonna be that lovely little echo coming through. Now this round did get pretty dang close, and a lot of that was due to Mark going kind of above and beyond and really pushing their way through, trying to get this one happening. See, that's going to be the same case here, Zelos. They're still on that razor edge, but it definitely feels better because they didn't just lose the game. They're alive, and they're able to find chinks in the armor of Valence, and they need to keep finding those and exploit anything they can. They beat on one of the harder to win sites that we've seen so far for the attack. They've struggled with it all night on both sides, and now onto a site that can be a little bit more exploited with some of that verticality. We'll see if it comes into play here, as the sledge will look to do some work. Everybody starts to feel a little bit more capable here. We're getting these players getting those frags on, and with Wilson really heating up, they're going to take a quick move trying to clear out any operators on that 3rd floor. Psychics, though, is droned out. He's got to move. The Goyo in a dangerous position.
Yeah, the Goyo in a dangerous position. The Yokai drone going to be doing some work, and I believe the grenade just took out a drone for the attacking side. So not what you want to see as Psychics. He's just content to move on. He's decided, okay, I don't need to be here anymore. Wasted enough time. We're about a 15 in, but we have Spadiga just sitting here holding this angle with an LMG, and that can be absolutely deadly. Though Psychics looks like he's going to be trapped on white stairs. The yellow ping is going to be coming out. So we have the Yana holding outside. That's going to be Bronze. Yeah, it looks like Psychics is going to get pinched here, as now Wilson going to be coming back down through the white stairs. You see, he's looking for that Yokai. He doesn't want to get stunned, give away his position, but very, very interesting situation for Psychics. Let's see if he can dig himself out of it. All the yellow pings.
Ooh, information given up. The pre-fire doesn't hit, but Wilson is now feeling the effects of that Yokai. It's Spadiga, though, taking down Smasher. The Echo will be no longer sending off those blasts. Spadiga's found themselves into sight. It's going to be a double kill, one coming from Psychics, the other from Defrex. That instantly puts Valence back in the man advantage. Wilson, Spoonman, and Mark, all that's left, all that stands between Zelos and a win, the 4 remaining players from Valence as well. And as time begins to tick down, we haven't seen too much map control given up besides Spadiga quickly getting into sight. Now it's going to be down to these 3 remaining players to do all of that work in 30 seconds.
Yeah, only 30 seconds left here. The clock is ticking down, and Wilson's still sitting here on the 2nd floor. We have Mark right outside a bakery, but boy, oh boy, guess who's sitting there waiting for him the second he comes through the door? We see some yellow pings coming out. Motion detector is Spoo is going to be able to take out Unstoppable. 13 seconds left. It's not looking good as Mark. He's going to be able to get the kill on the Lemon. What a swing, but Psychics going to be take out Spoo. Less than 10 seconds left. Mark has to get in and get the plant down. He's not going to be able to. That's the frags. Down to the final waning seconds is Wilson going to be swinging in. Not enough time, and Valence is going to be taking it on time. A fantastic effort coming out from Zelos. That kill from the ace onto the mute. Absolutely clutch, but unfortunate They could not finish it off. Valence will remain undefeated now in the Alpha Division and go up 4-0 and stay in that top spot.
What a deadly bunch of individuals that are forming up that Valence team. I mean, they all performed so well there. It was a great job. I mean, they really, really stuck it to him. We saw Zelos. They had moments where they really did look brilliant. They were able to find a couple of those rounds on the defense. Looked like they might have been able to just get something happening towards the final moments of that round. But amazing job coming through. Great work to Valence.
Yeah, and this the score line isn't going to say 8-7, but this was a very close game. We had multiple rounds that could have gone either way. But again, this is what we talked about. A best of one is not who's the better team, it's the better team today. So unfortunately for Zelos, the better team today was Valence. We're going to throw it to a quick break here, though, everyone. We'll be back for an interview in just a few minutes, so don't go anywhere, and we'll see you soon.
Why am I here again? In the eye of the mighty wind, rain and lightning. Take my body in the ocean. When the sky is falling down hard, 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 don't hold me up, just stand back, I'm chasing the storm. Don't hold me up, just stand back, I'm chasing storms. Don't know why I'm cold, so say goodbye, 'cause I like the fact you know. When the sky is falling down hard, 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 don't hold me up, just stand back, I'm chasing the storm. Don't hold me up, just stand back, I'm chasing storms. Don't hold me up, just stand back, I'm chasing storms. Don't hold me up, just stand back, I'm chasing the storm. Don't hold me up, just stand back, I'm chasing storms. Don't hold me up, just stand back, I'm chasing the storm. Don't hold me up, just stand back, I'm chasing storms.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back with our interview. We have Defrex from Valence. First of all, Defrex, GG's, congratulations to your team. You stay top of the division, stay undefeated so far in the season. What's kind of the feeling right now with the team? How are you guys feeling after such an important win?
I'd say we're feeling pretty confident. We're just really trying to make sure our strats are what we want to do, making sure we're staying confident in our gunfights. making sure our droners are getting everything done. Just really basing it down to fundamentals.
Absolutely. It felt like you guys really were playing some crisp seeds throughout the night. I mean, just absolutely denying a lot of these rounds. It felt like sometimes Zelos could hardly get a foot in the door. One instance was when Smasher was playing that Aruni inside a cigar with the shield. Talk us through that round, because that was a crazy, crazy thing to watch.
Yeah, that's one of our favorite strats we run is that castle strat up there. It just burns so much time because you need to play those repels to get that Christmas player out of there. That's me. Like they got on my South repel, but I just went prone next to the stage and I wasted lots of time, lots of drones. Like I shot 7 drones total. And then once they finally went for the drop, I got one on the Iona, and then after that, I got traded out webbing from the window. And then after that, Smasher just went crazy with the DMR, and just they couldn't funnel through that doorway.
Yeah, I brought up the way that you guys had that red wall kind of destroyed in your favor. There was the foothold shot out, but also the vertical play for, I believe it was Psychics, who was playing the alibi underneath in that wheel room.
Mhm.
That strategy just has to be a nightmare for attackers. And I mentioned it, you have Smasher just sitting behind a shield fighting off an LMG and Gone 6 and grenades and everything else. We saw several times that they just were not burning the ADSs. They tried the big res next time. You guys had the mute to be able to stop those Rotero drones. But I want to talk about kind of the mentality when you go in. You lose the first round, you win the second round, then you go down 3-1. How important is it to be able to look at the scoreboard or just ignore the scoreboard and not tilt and just kind of keep your composure and move forward? Because people get down in their games and they kind of tilt a little bit, but people don't understand there's a lot of time left in Siege when you're only down a couple of rounds.
Yeah, we went down 1-3, and we kind of just wheeled ourselves back in, and we're like, it's defense or we're attacking on cafe. We're not gonna, we're not supposed to win a lot of rounds. Obviously, the more you can win, the better. But really, we just need our two, and we're just fine going into defense. Then we came back when those two brought to 3-3, and then we knew we had it from there.
Absolutely. Well, phenomenal job. Obviously, Valence has become a real talking point in this league, undefeated. So, congratulations. I'm really excited to see how the rest of the season continues to play out. Obviously, looking really good for the playoffs as well. So, I'm excited to see how it goes. But before we let you head on out, is there anything you'd like to say? The floor is now yours.
Yeah, obviously, like to thank our org again at Team VLNC on Twitter for picking us up, giving us everything we need as players. Obviously, I want to shout out my teammates for showing us practice every day, putting in the work, making sure we can have this really great record and really good season.
Absolutely. Well, again, congratulations on the win. Excited to see you guys around. But for right now, we will be kicking it to a break, getting ready for the second game tonight. That'll be happening at around 9 EST. So don't go too far. We'll return in around 30 minutes or so.
outside the door. We don't pay them no mind. I've met the neighbors before, and they're outside the door. They seem angry this time. But you can meet me on a dance floor, all alone, not a care in the world. I'm dancing all on my.
Why is it that countries which we call strong are so powerful in creating wars but are so weak in bringing peace?
It's not possible. Blue taking out the pickup. Maybe a sure fight gets down. Do they know? Crossfire being held here, but that's him being traded out. Now it's a 1v1 situation. It's all on Punk. If he loses this, it is now another tied game towards the round. Oh my god! They're allowing Monster to free fire and take him out. That's the Monster. Unfreaking believable. Top of his head. You didn't see it! But he gets the kill!
Pick it up in the face plant. The shot is there though. It's a massive quad, and Snowy will somehow clutter place. The shotgun goes in res onto another. It's a 3v2. Scudder continues to shut it down, and it's all over. Mr. Pang finish the game, and there it is.
All right, everyone, we are back. Welcome to the second game of the evening for Xenon Gaming Series. My name is Krysis, and I'm with Slay, and we have the St. Louis Leviathans up against the 96 Bulls, the number 2 seed against the number 5 seed. And Slay, we saw the number 4 seed. It means the 96 Bulls, who are just out of that playoff spot, have a chance to make up some ground here.
It's a big chance to make up that ground. Had Zelos won, be a little bit more of a gap between that 4th and 5th place spot. So this is an excellent opportunity for the 96 Bulls to turn on the heat and get going. But as you mentioned, they're going up against those St. Louis Leviathans, and they've been looking pretty dang good right now. Currently set in 2nd place for that Alpha Division. They've gone 3-1, only losing to the undefeated team Valence. So again, much as we saw back on game 1, this is going to be maybe a little bit more of a tough game for the 96 Bulls, but certainly one that they would love to pull out, get those points, and just try to edge their way into those top 4 playoff positions.
Yeah, and if you've been a fan of T3, T4 Siege for a while now, the St. Louis Leviathan should not be a stranger to anyone watching. They're pretty prominent in just about every single league out there. So there's a lot of game film on them. They have roster changes here and there throughout their time in Siege competitively, but that could benefit the Bulls. The Bulls do tend to be a little bit more aggressive, maybe. That'll help them as they will be starting on attack on our map tonight. Speaking of, we can get into those map bans and be playing tonight. Oregon it is.
A little bit of Oregon. It's called Borrigan. People don't like it a whole lot. It plays very similarly every single time you watch it. Other than that, it's not a terrible map. You can have some pretty fun times every now and again, but yeah, we'll have to see if there's anything special brought into Oregon by these two teams. Obviously, with an aggressive one, with 96 Bulls opting to stay on that attack as much as they can. This is going to be their opportunity to really show what they can do in those early rounds. So we'll have a lot of eyes on them, looking to see if they can truly disrupt those Leviathans, send them packing. But still, again, just the same as what we saw with Valence, this is going to be a tough mountain to climb, and we'll see if they can get climbing here. But we've seen a lot of Alpha Division today, Delta Division, some of the teams that have stood out there. Superlight currently undefeated. Other than that, it's been a little bit different. Not the same amount of powerhouses that we've seen in the Alpha Division. It goes from 12 points to 6. Project Madness in 2nd place right now. I believe we'll be watching their game this coming Sunday, so look forward to that. But well, just about to head into Oregon. Any thoughts before we jump in to this lovely map?
I'm curious to see what the bans are. I mean, we talked about Flores in the last map on Cafe. Oregon is a map where he really shines, though, especially when trying to attack that downstairs defense in the basement. Everybody knows there's usually a shield set up there in the elbow area coming in off of the trench by barrels. So it'll be interesting to see what the bans are. Expecting, some common ones like maybe a Thatcher or whatever. But speaking of the bans, we're going to be loading into the match here, and we'll get to see who these teams are choosing to ban.
It'll be interesting, right? A lot of times for those defensive bans, they can remain pretty similar. You'll often see that Mira come out with the Valkyrie, although the Kite could be another option. Leviathans will have their first choice of taking out one of those attacking ops. They've already decided. I'm guessing it's going to be the Thatcher, who, of course, is always banned away, never gets to play with all the cool kids. So very unfortunate, but very expected for our dear SAS friend.
Yeah, he just has to sit back and watch his other SAS operators who are actually very popular amongst every other team. Sludge is very popular, Smoking Mute very popular. Thatcher is a little bit too popular, and that's why he gets sat down all the time. A Finka ban coming out from the 96 Bulls. Gamers of culture, if you will. If you want to have more fun in your ranked game, ladies and gentlemen, ban Finka. And Jaeger while you're at it. Ban him too. He doesn't need to play either, so no Finka.
Waffle says that they're just not going to be able to stand up without their Finka there, but Valkyrie will fall as well. So Valkyrie off the board, it makes so much sense. She's such a great operator, has C4, has a nice gun, but those black eye cameras are the real thing to worry about. A mirror will go away as well. So the defensive side, pretty standard, and 50% of the attacking side is what we're used to as well. But the Finka ban coming through will make things just a little bit more interesting, especially with 96 Bulls. They're starting on the attack, so they feel comfortable in being able to win enough rounds without that Finka to where they can get to the defense and reap the benefits of not having that oppressive LMG user coming at them.
Yeah, and you would think that being a more aggressive team, you would want Finka on your team, especially since you're attacking first. And this is kind of what we talked a little bit about on break, is that teams that tend to be more aggressive, right? They want to start on attack first. They want to kind of set the pace of the match. They don't want to have to sit back and wait on defense for 6 rounds. They have momentum. And speaking of being hurt, P. Loudy is going to be down just half health. Not quite sure exactly what caused that. Probably a shotgun blast as they were making a rotate. So the Wamai going to be on there. No Thunderbird, no Doc, so he's going to rest of the game, or this round, excuse me, very, very carefully. Lion operator do not want to lose early.
Gotta be so careful about the TK, about the damage that can come through. A lot of things can go wrong on the defense here. So unfortunate that P-Loud has already taken quite a wallop of damage. The orange coming through from Waffle is going to be a fun one to watch as well. The T5 SMG is phenomenal. Has the Bailiff as well to open up potential rotates and can jump up some hatchets. We'll have to see if that is ever going to be used in this round. The 96 Bulls begin their attack. Looks like a pretty standard clear here. They want to make sure there are no roamers hiding about looking to just get them at the last moment. That is typically what we like to see. A good roam clear leads to a great execution. So we'll sit back and wait as these players continue to clear the way. Now we do see one there. It's Waffle with an excellent shot. Psych doesn't even get a chance to see the Oryx before he's killed. And already that roam clear needs to do a little bit more clearing here on this roam.
Yeah, you talked about it. T5, such a dangerous weapon. Also the weapon that is shared with Legion. And in the hands of Oryx, who was able to just hold the absolute most pixel peak you will ever see in your life. Able to take the head right off of Psych, and that's huge. That's the holograms off the board. That's gone 6 gone, and it's 2 grenades gone as well. They do still have the 2 grenades on the sledge, so not not completely gone yet. But you're right, they are gonna have to do a much better job of trying to clear out these room Waffle kitchen area. We got Roe though, playing in meeting area by Split. There's gotta be somebody near him. see AKT is going to be coming through as well, breaking open that window into green hallway. Waffle, he's another one.
It's going to be Cruz finding the kill onto that Oryx, avenging the death of that Yana and putting themselves into an equal man count. Cruz, a phenomenal gunner, using the other LMG that is popular, the LMGE, just boasting 150 rounds without having to reload. There's so much potential with that thing. We'll see if they can continue to use it to take down some of these Leviathans. Right now, we've only got 55 seconds left on the board, so the defense going to be rotating back down to site, sitting pretty, waiting for the 96 Bulls to make their entrance and try to root them out. It won't be easy because we still have a couple of these players who have yet to enter into the map. There is the Alibi holding very close, finds one, and Chu will fall from Datway, but Futile is gunned down with the Avatar Storm. Rowe does not pick up another, though, as Datway evens it in a 2v2.
Yeah, he does, but as soon as we say that, Cruz comes through and takes down Proxima, and it's all going to come down to P. Loudy. They'll have gonna have to get this done. He's got an LMG to face, but he's also gonna have to deal with Nomad. Shots are gonna give away position. Sitting here, attackers actually rotate. That way gonna get away, but he's shot Cruz. Gonna be coming through and finishing it off. You gotta kind of wonder, you know, if P. Loudy been able to clutch that. I don't really think so. The Sophia was just an excellent position there. So the 96 Bulls, they lost the member early. They were able to keep their aggression, and they were able to take round one here. Attack.
Excellent job. It's what they want to do. Come out and just show how powerful they can really be here. So the Leviathans, they're going to go down to laundry and they're going to say, all right, maybe we need to make a couple of adjustments here. Looking at the operator lineup, though, the adjustments come with an Aruni being introduced. That's going to be the Wamai off the board. A kite still there. And instead of the Alibi, we'll see the Jaeger come through. So two operators that they believe will help quell the great danger that 96 Bulls have proved to be. Cruz taking a triple kill in that first round. Now, little fun fact about Cruz, we actually had him come and play a game in the Casual Pro League against a bunch of golds and platinums. It was a great time, so always fun to see players from the Casual Pro League make it to here. So that's just great. Cruz representing, and we'll see if 96 Bulls can continue with that aggression, or if the Leviathans will be able to read into it and chop them at the knees, bring them back down to size.
Yeah, you know, you're right. It is great to see CPL players, you know, kind of lending their time to a league like Xenon. It's a very prestigious league, and absolutely no bias coming from my co-caster there, Slay. But speaking of no bias, Cruz, the man with the plan, he's got 3 kills right now, and he's looking to some more 151 bullets in that LMGE. And we see some yellow pings coming out as well. P. Loudy, he's looking to get something done, but Feudal is going to get taken out from Waffle. That's going to be his second opening kill of the match. Plain order, getting things done. Gonna try to burn that gate. Like he's putting this angle in. He's going to be able to. Oh my goodness! P. Loudy with the flick. What a shot onto the head of sight. He's going to take him out. We're going to see the Aruni gate get put up in row. Going to be able to get one as well onto Cruz. Fantastic play there. You putting up the gate and having the wherewithal to gun out and get that kill. Rowe will be taking out the sledge. Unfortunately, it's a 2v4 with 2 minutes left. 96 Bulls looking like they need some help here.
Good grief. I mean, Leviathans were not missing a shot. It was hardly a round being flung the other way before those 96 Bulls were dead and gone. Now, as you mentioned, stuck in the 2v4. Now, good news is they've got plenty of time to deal with this situation. 1 minute and 30. And it's going to be about trying to get those refrags. Leviathans have said, if you want to be aggressive, we'll show you a thing or two about being aggressive. And they have not let go of that gas pedal quite so yet. That way, we'll swing into meeting. There's a player just below there. It's actually that way finding Loudy. Waffle is there for the immediate refrag and just makes it keep on going. It's a trade out, but Waffle will be able to find that kill. And now the Leviathans have quickly evened the score 1-1. Amazing job. 96 Bulls couldn't even get down to sight.
Yeah, Waffle with a 3K there, able to get some serious work done. Again, that's going to be his second opening kill for the match in 2 rounds. So definitely doing some maneuvering there with one of the operators game. You mentioned it, the ability to hop through hatches and his dash. he's kind of a nightmare for players, right? Oryx is an operator that people would say he's not very good, but you kind of make the same argument with like Amaru, right? People zip into play with Amaru, die, and they be like, oh, Amaru, bad operator. But you're not using them, right? We've seen Waffle really use the Oryx just kind of perfectly. He's going to swap off, though, going to be playing an alibi this time as we're moving upstairs into the bedroom area. To see if the 96 Bulls can attack this. It's going to be attacked probably a little bit differently. Not a lot of roamers going on here. To attic area. P. Loudy on the Wamai is probably going to be playing in the swamp drop down that we see him sitting in and trying to just keep anything coming through. Also bringing the Jaeger as well. So lots of projectile. Slay, they are going to need it. 6 grenades, 6 flashbangs.
Oh boy, we see Cruz switching off that Zofia into that Nook. Gonna be using the sneak ability to try to get through unnoticed, slip a couple of nades. Now, 96 Bulls, they have been known to try and utilize some of those vertical nades as well, so look out for a couple of points they might be targeting, trying to get Leviathans dead. But Cruz just says, let me get Leviathans dead the old-fashioned way by shooting him in the head. That's Roe falling quickly. The downstairs roam doesn't pay off. Now they're going to be trying to get that refrag. Great job off the bat, putting that aggressiveness to play, making sure that your team has the man advantage. Trade for trade now. 96 Bulls will be on top, and PK starts to move in as well. Good grief! Hello to P. Loudy. Gets the kill and escapes back up the stairs. Some of these 96 Bull members have just not been able to win these 1v1s.
Here he will die to that vertical grenade, though. Only going to be able to do a little bit of damage to Cruz as he's going to be able to take out the smoke. A massive blow to the Leviathan defense. Cruza will be going down to one. That's going to tie things up. 3 P. Loudy, though, at just about half health. So definitely a little bit more in the way of the attackers until Feudal gets his head ripped right off by P. Loudy. That MP5K with the 1.5, absolutely devastating, super accurate gun. The free fire coming out from Waffle, but it's not going to get the job done as Psych can take his head off and put it into a 2v2 now, and a little bit more evened up with just under a half left to play.
Ridiculous round. The Leviathans just hitting these shots that they have no business doing, but they just keep it going. Psych and Datway now left in that 2v2 against P. Loudy and Chu. P. Loudy has been someone you really don't want to go up against. 4-2 right now, but Datway not far behind. Chu on that Kaid, that AUG A3, just ready, holding back on sight. A couple of these players moving up right white stairs. That's Psych, the Yana, hoping to get some kind of angle here. Opening up onto that big window. 45 seconds to go is not all too much time. Still a little bit to work with. Right now, the defense, they're holding very strong as we head into the final 35 seconds. That way, attempts to plant. Psych takes down P. Loudy, and now Chu finds himself left alone, brings it to the 1v1, shuts down that way as well. Amazing job to close off the round.
Yeah, fantastic job from Chu coming out there. Got that AUG in hand, like you said. A gun that's a little bit underrated, in my opinion. It's very accurate. It's very strong. Got the long-range sight on it. The reason you're seeing our lovely faces and not the fantastic gameplay is because we are going to be doing a rehost here. What would be a night of Siege, Slay? Wasn't for a technical issue. You know what I mean? Things can't be too clean around here.
Oh, I know what you mean. Back in the old days, before there was a whole pause feature in the game, before that, oh my goodness, every little issue had to be rehost. So all in all, we've been blessed with Ubisoft giving us some very useful features, but every now and again, we do require to go back to the menu and reset the entire lobby, which is fine. We get plenty of time to talk about those first 3 rounds. Obviously, Oregon tends to be a little bit more of a defender-sided map, and so far it's looking like it's leaning towards that 4-2 split after Leviathans have taken 2 out of the 3 first rounds.
Yeah, and that can actually be hurtful to a team like the 96 Bulls. Again, very aggressive. We've seen it so far. They have kind of lived up to their reputation of just being an aggressive team, but when you're the Leviathans, when you're your team that's kind of been around together, Chu's been in the game for a very long time. If you've watched kind of any of, again, the T3, T4 competitive scene, you've seen his name. Chu is a fantastic player, has been in the scene for a very long time. So kind of seen it all a little bit, not probably too shooken or shaketh or whatever you want to say by the 96 Bull aggression. We did see Cruz get that nice pick underneath. A little bit of aggression worked out there, and the vertical grenades, as you mentioned in the opening kind of talks. But other than that, the first round, the 96 Bulls kind of took handle. The last 2 rounds have been all Leviathan.
Really has been, and I think a lot of that is Leviathans have been using their own aggression to a T. Their roam game has been just impeccable, finding those kills where it really did feel like 96 Bulls didn't have a chance of winning some of those. The angles being held ridiculous. So amazing job of being able to adapt to that. As you said, they've been around the block. They know what they need to see. But from what it sounds like, we might be getting close to heading into round number 4. So this will be a great opportunity for the 96 Bulls to get back on track. If they're looking for a 2-4 attacking split, they're going to want to win one more round here before the Leviathans just surf away and make it a difficult game. But let's jump back into Oregon here. Let's see if the Bulls can get it done.
Yeah, and as we kind of talked about, on the last match, this is going to be a tertiary site. They've won downstairs, they've won upstairs. Those are arguably the 2 best sites on defense. So this is going to be a great opportunity for the Bulls to pull one back here. So we're going to be meeting kitchens. This is going to be your split site. A lot of teams, they kind of prefer one or the other, right? They either prefer kitchen dining or they prefer a kitchen meeting. And I'm personally more of a fan of the split site because you can kind of hold up an attic. You can create the rotations in between the sites as well and kind of maneuver a little bit. You can also spread out a little bit more, play a little bit vertically up there in that kids' bedroom area. So absolutely no shock here that we're going to be going to the split site for the Leviathan defense of this.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. There are a lot of teams who do favor this meeting side, and it still can be held quite nicely. There's a lot of square footage to hold, don't get me wrong there, but as you mentioned, a lot of different avenues defenses take to make sure that they hold it well. Might see a little bit of pressure upstairs near that attic area. You already have the hatch popped open, so they definitely are going to be looking to be in control of that. 96 Bulls, though, prepared and ready to go. That Osa's back in game. We saw Osa band out on Cafe a while ago, so always fun to see her back in the mix. But once again, the defense, very solid set of operators. Look out for Waffle, who has been a menace on every operator they've played. This time, decides to go for a little bit of that Azami.
Yeah, and something that to bring up here, IM being played, and an interesting thing about those clauses, because they do travel vertically as well through wooden floors and whatnot. Actually going to be able to get all 4 of the walls, 2 in attic, 2 in rear stage, with a single claw, and with no Thatcher on the board, no Maverick, it's going to be a little bit harder to be able to get through those. We're going to see Datway putting up some air jams just to cover any rotation that might be coming from the basement area. We've already seen, we've seen Waffle getting his another opening pick here. That's going to be his 3rd for the game on that Azami. But yeah, trying to cover that flank watch is Leviathans. They are, very heavily well defended.
It's been so difficult for the Bulls to deal with that, and if you thought it was going to be hard to bust through those walls with a Kaid Claw, watching him now, imagine trying to do it without any hard breaching capabilities at all. It's going to be a very frontal attack here. Still a couple of roamers upstairs. P. Rowdy is holding off, being now pressured in. I believe that was Cruz. Is with them upstairs in the dorms too, and as Datway falls to Proxima, Leviathans have a very solid hold on this round. Cruz, the rest of the squad need to get something going the other way. Leviathan just proving to be a very difficult opponent here.
Yeah, they're just anchored in, they got their claws sunk in, and they are not moving. We are going to see the fall off here on the top floor. They're more than willing to get that up, and there's just about a minute left. So taking just under half damage. Psych looked like he was going to shoot his teammate in there. That's not the play you want to be making, but it is Osa playing the top hatch. Under a minute left here, and we're control, but it's a 3v5. Proxima live. There's smoke canister, toxic babes. So going to be able to do a lot of denial here in the closing second.
40 on the clock. 3v5 is not impossible, but it's going to be very difficult, especially if we see more kills coming the way of Leviathan. Prox starts to let a couple of bullets loose, and now AT decides to hold on in and get ready to go. 24 seconds means it's crunch time. Waffle finds one. Prox again. Bro does fall, but it's going to be all over so quickly for this round as Waffle once again just finishes it up. Amazing job from the Leviathan. A chance to breathe for the Bulls in these rounds. Pressured out, immediate frags coming through, and then just really control taken away throughout the entire round.
Yeah, another 3K coming out there from Waffle. You're not going to be on the score, excuse me, because we did have that rehost, but he's doing the absolute work right now, putting the Leviathan on his back and just carrying them to the promised land. Going up 3-1 here. They're in a very, very good spot. They've guaranteed at least a 3-3 split here on their first defending half. Defenders on a map like this again, which does kind of tend to be a little bit more defender-sided. You're exactly where you want to be. They're only one round away from getting that 4-2 split, potentially a 5-1, but you got to get through this one. However, they are game just incredibly strong, and the 96 Bulls have been a little lost right now. Not sure how they're going to be able to pull this one back. They've got to be quick.
Might be looking towards some shields to help them out. We see the blitz coming through from site as well as a game being picked from Futile, so there could be quite a few white screens in the future. The Leviathans, they haven't brought out the Warden, especially with the attacker repick, being able to see, all right, they don't have the counters for these operators. Let's make it happen. We might have a big rush coming in right into that J bunker. Prox is ready alongside Chu. I've seen so many rushes start and end within moments, and his sight pushes in. That's going to be a smoke canister, making it difficult. They've got control of that shield, but it's Chu finding one. Prox with that M590 throws another smoke canister. AKT does take down Chu though, so a 4v4, but these two players are locked in between smokes right now, making this rush a little bit more ineffective. Great pickup from ATK. They'll be looking for another. The rush hasn't been the rushiest, but it's certainly been getting those frags as another nade comes to P. Loudy. Falls the M590, just going crazy, but it's not good enough. Rowe picks up two to a 2v1.
Yeah, it's all going to come down to the Mozzie on very low health. P10 running in hand, so a lot of bullets done what needs to be done. However, it does still have the Nitro, so could get a kill here, and there it comes. It's going to be coming out. Will it land? No! Not going to hit anything. He's not going to be rotating. Going to be able to get the kill on the one. That's going to be Case down as well. It's going to come down to Datway versus Rowe. The ARX in hand of the Nomad. 3 flashbangs in hand as well. See those start to come out here. Have they picked up the Case? No, they have not. Rowe's going to swing, but he was on such low health that probably a single bullet from Datway was all it took. And the 96 Bulls going to be able to claw back just a little bit and get their second round win.
They've really needed that. Great job to get at least the 2-4 set up. I mean, I gotta be honest, Rowe, despite being on such little HP, was really giving me a scare for the 96 Bulls. I mean, you just never know with the Leviathans. Hit those shots up. P10 Roni, very small mag, but oh boy, does it spray those bullets out quickly. Great job from the Bulls to finish it up, giving themselves a chance to potentially pull a 3-3 split here. The Leviathans, though, say we'll go right back down to Laundry. We'll try it again. We can't get another rush on us. There's just no chance of that happening. Absolutely not, as P. Loudy has switched onto the Warden to ensure that Ying will not be very effective against him.
Yeah, and you mentioned it. There was no Ying last time, and P. Loudy says, I bet I'm going to bring it this time. And you can see they have swapped off. There was a little bit of a tease of a Ying there in the beginning. Chosen to fall off. Hopefully you saw that Warden and chose the attacker repick. And swap off the Ying, decided, okay, probably not going to work. We need to change things up a little bit. And instead they're going to be bringing a Maverick for the hatches. My guess is Chu is playing with Hyed. He's going to be able to get those hatches nice. Fine, nothing to get through that. But for the most part, looking rather similar to their other attacking strategy. I would like to mention, though, that Psych playing Zofia and not using the LMG is psych things. Apparently not, as he takes the head right off the row. I guess that answers that question. A fantastic shot. Gonna be trying to get another one on the waffle on the side of the 96 Bull, but will scamper away with his health for now. Through and gonna be able to get the kill finished off. Cut the back up for Loudon. Cruz though gonna be taking out Waffle. Things in a 33.
What a quick succession of kills there. Back and forth. Opened up from Psyche using that M7. Just kept it going there. Great job now from the 96 Bulls, taking the man advantage. Waffle off the board as well as Road. Both of them have been considerable fraggers for the Leviathans, post and after rehost. So now those guys on the defense might be in a little bit more trouble here, but we'll have to see if they can hold this off. M590 on those stairs, ready and waiting. AKT is thinking about what they want to do here. There's plenty of time to figure out exactly how this push is going to happen, and we still see a lot of angles being held, a lot of clearing happening, map control being taken by the Bulls. They want to be very careful and very deliberate with how they make this move, and another hatch will be opened up, as you said, by that Maverick. P. Loudy still playing downstairs in Laundry as that Warden, who will be very useful at all, unless he gets a flashbang or two to his face. But it's a minute and 15 seconds or less. This is going to be a lot of pressure on the Leviathan.
Yeah, that way, very close to the shotgun, and there it is. It's Proxima gonna be able to finish off the Nomad, but the air jams have been placed down. If AKT outside here at the barrels door, gonna be lobbing a grenade. He's gonna be through, and AKT, he's gonna be able to get one on Proxima, and that's smoke off the board. He's gonna be able to get another one on the Chew. Be Loudy, he's gonna be able to shoot the hologram, not the actual Yana. It's a 3v1 situation. Nitro no longer in hand. Drop into the E-box, cruising a little bit of damage. Loudy takes a lot himself, but AKT is going to finish it off. A fantastic round from the Sledge, doing everything that needs to be done to tie things up here 3 for the 96 Bulls.
AKT absolutely took that round in his own hands, just went crazy. It was a 4v3. Of course, we saw Prox bring it back to the even scoreline, but excellent job after that from that Sledge. And now as the sides are switching, it is that 3v3 or 3-3 scoreline. So it's fairly even heading in, but the big thing is that 96 Bulls are on the defensive side. And if it is what we usually expect with a 4-2 split, this could be their ticket to a very important victory against the Leviathan. Puts a lot of pressure and a lot of needs for the Leviathans to pick it up and make sure that these coming rounds go in their favor. They certainly can get that going. We've seen just how deadly their weapons can be. Waffle, Row, Prox all finding a lot of kills even before the rehost took them all away. Waffle was a menace to deal with. So the 96 Bulls, they might have been able to win out the half, getting a 3-3 split, but they're not quite out of the woods yet. I wouldn't be surprised at all if Leviathans were able to answer back in a similar fashion.
Yeah, Leviathans, they're no slouch. You know, we've talked about them and their skill and their just kind of longevity in this scene. They absolutely have what it takes to bring it back here and either take it to time or just straight up win it out. I mean, they could rip off 4 rounds in a row here. We saw that happen in our last cafe. Row, though, going to be taking an absolute ton of damage. I'm not sure exactly who is the member of of the 96 Bulls who caused that damage, but Sophia down to about health-ish with that, so gonna have to be incredibly careful moving forward. There is a smoke on the board, so any prolonged time in those toxic babe canisters could end up costing their existence.
And no Finka to boost you back up. That was the ban from the 96 Bulls that really took us for a little bit of a shocker there. Such a common operator. Really good, especially at just playing that long ball, getting some of those early damages in and just winning the war by attrition. A lot of roam game is happening here. We're starting to see it being cleared out. Prox looking to open just a couple of holes under that wall, try to force out any players who might be there. We are seeing just so many blue silhouettes upstairs on the first floor, downstairs, everywhere, but Cruz might be in trouble. That way finds one, but it's a trade as Shoot gets that immediate refrag. But a blast from the nade sends Cruz just scurrying back to site with very low HP.
Yeah, the mute had to fall off there, like you said, the grenade just about taking his life away. But a smart move to drop that hatch and get away and live to fight another day. No healing for either side. Doc on the defensive end here, so gonna have to play out this last 75 seconds on what appears to be about 5 health. So health definitely in the hands of the Leviathans. Good attack here. Psych though, gonna try to change that as he's playing here in the meeting behind the church pews and take out whoever walks through that door, just wasting a ton of time. VP Loudy up there in the attic area, but Proxima, he's going to be able to walk right through. Waffle actually going to be able to take out Psych and Shaman. So nice team play, a little bit of cross shooting there coming out from the Leviathans. As now we're going to be in a 4v3 with 40 seconds left.
This is it, the final seconds, the crunch time for the Leviathans to just send the final strike right to the 96 Bulls with only 3 members alive. It's going to be Cruz cutting down one. Loudy is there for the frag, but Cruz continues to say, doesn't matter if I have limited HP, I'm still going to find those kills. Now that 2v2, both the SAS bros are ready, and it's a triple kill. SMG taking down Prox, finds the shot onto Futile, 15 seconds to go. Diffuser doesn't even matter as Waffle be mute and sends his team right back into the lead. Excellent job. Waffle is somebody you have to contend with right now, and 96 Bulls, they need to find their way to do so.
Yeah, a valiant effort coming out there from Cruz, a 3K with the SMG-11 and the waning, dying moments. Unfortunately, just a second too much on the clock for him to be able to hold out there, again, with such little health, too. I mean, we hear it all the time, you know, 5 health. I mean, that was literally 5 health and a nightmare for the Leviathans. They could very easily have gone to the way of the 96 Bulls, but able to pull it out. So able to get around on here. Sign them. They lost. But now we're going to go back downstairs. Feel like they can kind of correct the issues they had the last time. It did come down to a 1v1. So really they just got to be a little bit better mechanically. They got to kind of pick their shots a little bit more and hopefully do a ton of damage to Row again. Maybe take them a bit earlier than they want to be and take that to Fial.
Oh my goodness. Something to highlight as well from the Leviathan side of things, how well they played. Just against Psych, for instance, who was stuck in meeting room. I mean, when he died, there were probably 3 different players who could have gotten that kill. It was Waffle, and I know you were a little bit surprised about who got it. We were both looking at the player who had just dropped down with the Hibana just taking shots as well. A lot of great team play coming from the Leviathan side of things. They make it difficult for the 96 Bulls to play very individually. You have to be able to get those refrags, and that's something that Leviathans have set up just brilliantly now. And as they go again into round number 8 on that attack, they're heading back downstairs into Laundry. This is their chance to really start to extend that lead for the 96 Bulls. They're going to want to pull it back, keep it nice and close here, but it's going to be difficult. Leviathans have just looked so strong all night.
They have. We're going to see Proxima start to get these hatches open quickly. No Kayed on the board, which means no real denial of that. Leviathans committed. He's starting to open up and get a lot of presence done. Row, full health this time. You know, he decided that he wants to play the game at full health this time. That done. Doesn't look like there's a shield. Oh, there is a shield, but it's way back there. That's going to give Feet away a ton of time to take out Arrows. Go in early and take out the Banshee and the Razor Wire that was there. I'm not quite sure what's going to happen now. Is that way is going to be getting all kinds of everything thrown his way, and the concussion grenades, the flashbangs, everything's kind of tucked in there. ADS is going to be able to stop, but that way he's going to be able to get it down. So he's going to get down. Going to see Proxima get that finish off his cruise area. Have projectiles now sent his way instead.
4v5 with just a minute and 10 seconds to go. Continuing to look out. We've got Psych on that roam. Futile, though, is dropped. Looks to be finished off shortly here. It's going to be the Roterotron that puts him in the grave. And now Cruz can't find the refrag either. P. Loudy starts to look very, very heavy-handed here. Just not letting anything slip. Psych hopes to find some kind of pixel shot of his own. The 2v5, they really got to get it going on, but it's just not happening. P. Loudy denying it all, and as the plant is being attempted, it won't even need to go down as Row finds the kill and confirms that a flawless round will indeed be given to the Leviathans. There is just no doubt about how good they're looking tonight. 96 Bulls are in a little bit of trouble.
P. Loudy with a 3K there on that round, getting that kill, as you mentioned, with the Rotero drone. Not something you see happen quite often. The lethal damage radius of that drone was reduced quite drastically when Flares first came out. That was actually adjusted. He hadn't even left the test server yet, and people kind of felt that the lethal damage was a little bit too large. They shrank that down, so to be able to get a kill with the Rotero drone was very, very cheeky, we shall say. Now we're going to be choosing to go upstairs. Bulls have decided, you know, look, we've lost 2 in a row. Time for us to move, and yeah, things are not looking good for them, as you said. The Leviathan strong, and I used this phrase the last map, surgical. The Leviathans, they got that flawless round. They just looked so smooth. They didn't do anything without purpose. And 96 Bulls, they're just kind of struggling a little bit, taking early picks when they don't need to, a lot of damage in gunfights without kind of fragging or taking anything on their own. But like, he doesn't look like he's going to be going for a spawn peak. He's going to be trying to down and anybody from coming in master bed.
Oh man, 96 Bulls have so much to do right now, and they're going to be looking to get it started. The Leviathans have done a great job at picking up those opening kills, but honestly, 96 Bulls have been very, very similar in that regard. It just seems like Leviathans are able to keep that momentum going and even bring it back. Now the Amaru is set up, ready to go. We could have one heck of a rush ready here as they're lining up on that gigantic window, the big window heading into sight. Prox is in now. Candelas are tossed. This is a full-on rush. A kill from that way and another from Cruz. From Rowe, though. Now the 4v3. Psych runs into his death. Cruz continues to put on the board, but Chu will be the final operator left alone. In fact, the only one who didn't jump into the building is the final one to be alive. So the rush very well shut down. Cruz futile. Both alive. Cruz could be feeling a bit better, but those Kiba barriers will make it difficult for Chu to jump in.
The only one who didn't jump in was the one with the diffuser in hand. The operator that kind of needs to enter and if you want to be able to win. And we're going to see that the white stair windows end up here, and we saw Futile kind of react to that. And it's just going to be kind of holding the angle. Chu, though, LMG in hand. Gridlock's very like most LMGs in the game. Going to be able to shoot that default camera and choose back out. It is a more traditional magazine in G's, a bit faster of load, doing something more similar akin to like G8 as opposed to the box mags that like Zofia and Finka and all them have. So definitely a gun that is very, very job done here. This Chu's going to enter in through the attic area as they have less than a minute to try to get this attack done.
Chu's certainly a player that can finish this up, especially with Cruz on very low HP. Cruz has been a game-changing operator so far, but is on such little HP. You've got to be worried for their life. Futile on that alibi. The MX4 Storm, love it. Great gun. Bailiff can open some rotates. Be cool to see a kill come through with it, but most likely won't be the case here. 30 seconds to go. The Gridlock has access to those smoke grenades and uses them to get very close to sight. I try to sneak something down here, pick a kill, and just get into that 1v1 situation. Both defensive players being pretty passive about it. They're taking their time. Now that Kiba barrier going off will give away the position of at least where Cruz seems to be in his Chu pushing forward. Tries to find one of those early spots, but it's Cruz swinging, getting the final kill. An absolute phenomenal ending. Could have been a detrimental round for the Bulls. That could have been match point, not in their favor at all, but instead they shut down the streak Leviathans had been going on and put themselves right back into this game.
Yeah, they're going to pull themselves around closer to tying this up, you know, like you said. And a rush strat can be absolutely devastating, but they do kind of tend to go one way or the other, right? Either the rush absolutely works and everyone defense dies, or your rush fails tremendously and everyone on the side dies. That's exactly what we saw there. The honor flying into the kid's window. Well, fortunately for her, Futile was sitting there shotgun in hand. We've all talked about it. The more you believe in that shotgun, the more damage it does, and that's actually fact. The harder you believe, it's like an anime shotgun, right? You just gotta believe harder than your opponent does, and that shotgun will do all the damage you need it to do. So a failed rush coming out from Leviathans, but when you have a 2-round lead, Slay, you can kind of take those risks, right? It's not as imperative that you win every single round, so I'm sure the Leviathans are going to take that as a little bit of a laugh. And, all right, let's get back to kind of playing more traditional, quote-unquote.
Yeah, shouldn't be a lot of alarm bells go quite so yet. If 96 Bulls continue to find a lot of success, then maybe something needs to be looked at, but without a doubt, Leviathan's still feeling confident. The rush didn't work out, so what? You can move on, like you said, to different strategies, to greener pastures perhaps, as Rowe looks to enter on in by that small tower. There's been a lot of contention around this hallway. We saw Rowe take a lot of damage before and a couple of kills back in early rounds, back in the side when the Leviathans were on the defense. We've seen Waffle take a couple of shots there as well. There's going to be that M590 waiting for them as Chu holds back, just waiting and seeing if anybody's going to make a mistake, pushing out and looking a little bit too deep into his space. Rowe now continuing to take that map control. We'll see them down or in that first floor. There are a lot of players on that roam. Psych up there alongside our good friend, looking to get that early opening. Looks the wrong way though, and Prox takes advantage.
Prox is going to be able to take out Psych. That's going to be your Jaeger off the board, but those ADSs probably placed down already, so just a gun. P. Loudy, though, going to be able to take out AKT, and that's going to be your Aruni off the board now. So very quickly, things have shifted right back into the favor of Leviathans at D5, and P. Loudy, he says, you know what, I'm take out that shotgun, doesn't scare me. He's going to swing and take the head right off of mute. Things into a 2v5. We still have a minute and 20 left here, so plenty of time for the Leviathans. 5 members of their team up, kind of formulate a plan and figure out how they want to attack here. Down close to the final 60 seconds, and Feudal, he's going to take a load of damage from Rowe. Doesn't have to reload. He's got that 151 box mag, and he can just keep shooting. And as he does, and now it's all going to come down to Feudal. P. Loudy going to get it in another flawless round coming out from the Leviathans. That is 2 basement attacks, Slay, where they have gone flawless.
Very, very scary. Right? Since we've switched on to this side, since 96 Bulls have taken the defense, they've gone to that laundry, that basement site 3 different times, each one of them losing. So as we head to meeting, this is going to be out of necessity to just try to get something on the board, try to stick it. They need 2 rounds to get out of this and get into overtime, and those 2 rounds would most likely be here in meeting and then back upstairs to kids' dorms. That's going to be their hope, but this is the big hill to get over. The Leviathans, even when they lost on kids, that was due to a very different strategy they were running. It was a full-on rush that just got shut down. But when they bring in this standard attack that they've been using, it is just so difficult for the 96 Bulls to deal with. It's just the Leviathan seeming to crush them at every single angle. The Bulls have got to find something to do. It's going to have to come out right here.
10 seconds to go.
Yeah, we're going to see them hold down this split site. As you said, 3 out of the 4 rounds on defense have been in that basement side, and just have not been able to do that. I mean, 2 of them, as I said, were flawless rounds for the Leviathans. They absolutely just have this taken care of, and we're going to see Psych. He's going to try to hold downstairs. Crew's playing there in this swamp area of the attic, and AKT, not the way you want to start it out, but as you're going to get down to just about 30 health, that is very, very early. Not the smoke, so doesn't have those canisters, but does have the nitro, versus the shotgun as well, so a very devastating operator. So you just don't want to lose bodies this early. Rowe playing very aggressive. You would almost think that this was the 96 Bulls attack, considering how fast this is moving.
Without a doubt, Leviathan's just making an entrance, but Chu continues to show the dominance there, finding Psych, putting that Jaeger down into the grave. And again, that man disadvantage is just sitting on 96 Bulls, a crushing weight that they've got to find a way to throw off of them. The way this seems to go is once they lose a man, they're just unable to even things back out. Leviathans take advantage of that and continue to push the envelope. P. Loudy playing outside. It's AKT doing what they need to do, shutting down Waffle, a great fragger, but kind of similar to what we saw at Valence. There are so many other amazing players you have to deal with. Just finding one is not going to be enough. Cruz, though, is a player that you have to look out for on the Bull side. Rowe takes down AKT, and now we're starting to see the Leviathans push in. Cruz evens it at 3-3.
Yeah, gonna even it up there. Thought they were gonna maybe fall through the hatch, but instead they're deciding around and try to delay a little bit more. We're gonna see Proxima. Here's P. Loudy's going to be moving in. This looks going to be a dual-pronged attack as the Havana going to be opening up that wall into the lower attic area. P. Loudy on the sledge. Would not be surprised if we see some grenades coming through here as he does have flashbangs in hand, so to be able to do anything, but instead we're going to see the drop coming out from Proxima take a little bit of damage in that fight, but health left to do what needs to be done. Has to be careful. They're standing absolutely still. Prime for a nitro if there were any on the board. Hopefully there's not, but Wade does have impact grenades to be able to do some damage. Speaking of doing damage, Proxima gonna do a bunch to the smoke, and that's gonna be Fetal off the board. It's gonna be a 2v3. 5 seconds left though, still pretty winnable for the 96.
It's going to have to be winnable for them if they want to stay alive in this game. Chu takes a lot of damage, but dishes much more to Cruz. Now they're around even. Proxima is going to get that plant attempted. That way could just about fight it here. The swing finds one. Double peek gets it done. Prox and Loudy now dead. The plant did go off though. So all three players left are just one shot away to some hardcore siege right now, as anything is just going to put you in the grave. Shu has got to find a way to play this. Now we see the attempt onto that. It's Shu finding the kill onto that way. Crew, now or never. It's the time to find this win. Baits the diffuser, pulls off, but Shu has a nice position here and knows that there's only so much time before they have to stick that, and that crunch time is coming in now. The shots are through the wall, not quite hitting, and there's the kill. Cruz falls to Chu. Excellently played in the post plant, and the Leviathans take a win.
Yeah, a fantastic clutch play there coming out for the Leviathans. Taking it 7-4. That's both of our matches tonight, ending up 7-4. So great plays coming out from the number 1 and number 2 seed. Number 4 and number 5 seeds really going to be fighting. But again, that last round was so very close. So like, I thought for sure we were going to be seeing at least around 12 there, the potential to go all the way in regulation. But unfortunately for the 96, could not get it done. It was just too low health. They didn't push the Maverick at the same time, and instead just try to get along diffuse. And well, those soft walls, that M4 will just chew right through them.
Oh, it'll get you. Unfortunate for the Bulls, but a great win from the Leviathans. We're going to kick it to a short break, and we'll be right back with an interview from one of those great players. So don't go too far. Let's talk with the Leviathans in just a couple of minutes.
Let's go, send all of your friends to the restroom and let's go. Hey, nah, don't touch on my bottles if you ain't coming home. I seen you put the lipstick in the Prada, you moving on the floor. Nice young and the vibe is electric, the bank roll out my door. I feel my senses overload, wildin' cause I broke the mold. Really in this business of investing, but I win the most. Cruising when it's 2 a.m., bodies hanging at the banks. Drive me to the nearest liquor store to celebrate again. Oh, it's on my mind, it's good as fine. It's on my mind, yeah, good as fine.
Hold up, wait a minute, stop. I don't even need you anymore, I'm on the top. I've been on a roll, you've been on a drop.
roll out my door. I feel my senses overload, wildin' cause I broke the mold. Really in this business of investing, but I win the most. Cruising when it's 2 a.m. Parties hanging at the bangers. Drive me to the nearest liquor store to celebrate again. Oh, it's so.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Xenon Gaming Series. We're here for our post-match interview with the one and only Chew. Chew, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing great, man. A phenomenal matchup we're able to watch between you and the 96 Bulls. Obviously, on Oregon, one of those maps that can feel a little bit boring at times, but I feel like you guys kept us entertained throughout. Let's start and talk about kind of the first half, right? On that defense, you guys were hitting some disgusting shots, man. How are you able to win those gunfights so consistently?
So I'll be honest. They've been working on it. So from what I see, I just see them shooting people from cams. But I know they're always working on their aim and scrims. And it's just been a long time of them practicing what they do every single day.
Speaking of that first half, Waffle went absolutely nuclear in the first couple of rounds, having 2 3Ks in 4 of the rounds, got 3 opening kills, was playing on the Oryx, an operator that not a lot of teams kind of utilize. But what is so special about that operator that kind of feels like it fits your guys' playstyle?
So I'll be honest. We didn't really pick Oryx. He said, I want to play Oryx. So that's really how it started. He just started picking Oryx and running around. And it's been working. So there's no point to change it now. And yeah, I mean, him and Ro work really well together on the roam. So I think that's what helps too.
Fair enough.
Awesome. Well, obviously, you guys have put in the work in this league right now with that in second place and just continue to move in. So that's a clinch for you guys, just going crazy. But with Valence on top right now, are there any teams that you're really looking at, Valence or even on the Delta division, that you're a little bit worried or even excited to play up against in the future?
I only know one team in this league. It's Super Light. That's the only team I really know. I know they're good, and I'm excited to play against them. I want to play them in the finals. I think that'd be the most fun finals right there. Yeah. Anyone else, I don't really know.
Well, Clutchmaster Chew, 3K in the final round. Is there anything you would like to say to your fan base out there, the people who watch and support you guys, before we send it to wrap here for this evening?
I just want to thank them for watching our games and being there to support us. I did vote against us today. I wanted us to lose. Kind of hurts for my channel points, but that's okay. But yeah, thank you. And one more thing, the 96 Bulls did not play like that. They played like, I don't know, the Timberwolves in 96. That's all I got to say. Thank you.
But a shade being thrown there. I'm sure there are so many people get that reference. I mean, I'm a elder 96 Bulls was a bit before my time, but that is going to wrap it up for us, ladies and gentlemen. 2 fantastic matches, 1 seed and the number 2 seed, claiming their dominance here for division. We will be back for more matches on Sunday evening at 7:30 and Eastern. We will have Project Madness, Paradox, Homeland Academy, and Paradox Black versus I Am Colorblind, and production doesn't have that set up for me, Fraud Watch. So thank you to everyone who came and hung out with us. We hope you all do well, and we'll see you back on Sunday.